So what are investors going to be looking at in those earnings reports from the banks? Sheila Dharmarajan is at our markets desk and has more. Sheila?
Good morning, Scarlett. It's a big week for the big banks. JPMorgan, Goldman Sachs, Citigroup, and Bank of America are all set to report third quarter earnings this week. Three themes that investors are looking for. The first one, fixed income trading. Big winner for the banks last quarter, and that gravy train is expected to continue this quarter. Credit markets are loosening up and becoming more attractive. Liquidity is flowing into the credit markets. If you take a look at bond fund net inflows for 2009, the numbers skyrocketed compared to last year as investors are becoming more comfortable with the credit markets. But increased liquidity does have its issue because more liquidity means narrowing credit spreads. Narrowing credit spreads means less profits potentially for these trades. So commentary from the banks about how these trades are going to continue to go and if they will be as profitable as they were last quarter will be key. And the second point is investment banking. M&A, equity, and debt underwriting. Very, very high profit businesses for the banks. But analysts are expecting a weak quarter going forward. When you look at the M&A volume over the past couple of quarters, still down despite all these M&A headlines that we've been hearing. We're at less than half the volume that we were about a year ago. Oppenheimer thinks that overall investment banking revenues down 20% this quarter. And the last point that investors are going to be looking for is net credit losses. Now, these are called NCLs, and they're a measure of consumer credit card losses, and that number is still climbing. Oppenheimer tracked these numbers for the major consumer banks, so think B of A, Citi, and Merrill Lynch. And what you can see is that those figures are still climbing. The net credit losses for this quarter, 3 times of what we were a year ago. So credit quality is still a big issue for these banks, and commentary around how those trends are playing out will be key for banks going forward. Back to you, Scarlett.
Thank you so much, Sheila Dharmarajan.